Tuesday, August 19th. I've been up for quite a while. I did do a paid newsletter prior to starting the show. And the paid newsletter is, this company has $1 billion in cash. It's debt-free and a price target that's 33% upside after it dipped over 40%. I thought it was a pretty good play. Again, the risk reward for me is minimal at best. It's not zero, but it's minimal. If you want to see how I went through this, how I found it, why I'm buying it right now, and where I'm going to get out, the full thesis is right there. It's like a 8 minute podcast. 8 minutes podcast. So it's short, it's sweet. It's a good example of what you get with the paid newsletter. Now let's talk about the markets, because nothing happened yesterday. Absolutely nothing. As of 3 p.m., just an hour before the close yesterday, SPYI had traded 29 million shares versus its daily average of 71 million. QQQ wasn't any better at 23 million versus its typical 45.9. And you can see on the screen, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, Apple, and Tesla all down from volume standpoints. Okay, so nothing is going on. The thesis is that everybody's waiting for Jerome Powell. Again, Jerome Powell is speaking at Jackson Hole. We went over the Catalyst Watch just yesterday. That's the big news for the week. Okay, what do you have next week, though? You have Nvidia earnings next week. Nvidia said to develop new AI chip for China. That beats the H20. This opens the door. They just had that huge write down. But you've got their earnings next week. You know, you can see QQQ. We're still in a bull run here. For our algorithm got you in at 570. You're trading in pre-market at 576. But again, volumes are down. It's not like these volume levels are getting broken out here because you're at all-time highs. Will that drive the price down? Maybe. But again, it's only till Thursday. And when you look at the weekly chart, we still have confirmation above that 9-day. The Bollinger Bands are cinching up a little bit from the bottom because you're trading towards the top. You've still got this trend line intact. Your MACD super high. Your RSI is at 66. Something needs to break. Maybe it's Nvidia next week. But if you want a cheat code on how to invest, this is it. Literally, when the VIX spikes to 50, if you had just bought SPYI, VOO, QQQ, it signals a bottom. It signals the dip. So when we spike to 50 on the VIX, set your alert. Set an alert right there when it spikes over 40 to start buying, because it will spike at certain times. It is now at 14.98. This is a volatility index, and it will not feel comfortable buying when it spikes. It will feel like kissing your freaking cousin. Maybe it feels good at that time because you think long term it's going to be fine. But in the short term, you know it's wrong. You know kissing your cousin is wrong.
You know cousins.
But yeah, there's laughter in the background here. But that's a cheat code. Again, when the VIX spikes, buy it. And by the way, if you want to win a year of TrendSpider, we went through our second winner who didn't respond to my email. But TrendSpider is giving away 5 of them. As a thank you for hitting 500,000 followers on Twitter, you should be following TrendSpider on Twitter. The reason, it's not all TrendSpider charts. They give you great technical advice. They give you great technical charts. And you can win a free annual plan. Now, here's one of the things that they give you. The hackathon that we talked about last week, okay? The hackathon is creating some of these great, like this Dynamo Cloud. Okay, the Dynamo Cloud combines VIDYA and CMO to create an adaptive color code. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea. But I could create a strategy around it, and it explains it all. And you can add it right here. This indicator called the Dynamo Cloud and adaptive usage. Identify trends and potential reversals. That's the key. And here's the key components. It gives it everything for you. So it's something to try. Again, with TrendSpider, it's all about trying things. Because if you're new to technical trading, you're going to need to try things before you get used to it. Okay? TrendSpider is a beast of a program. But if you want my 4-hour algorithm, you'll see me go over it a lot right here, TrendSpider. It's $50 a month. Sign up for the annual plan and I will email you my 4-hour algorithm. I will email you all my watch lists. I will email you everything. Okay? Now let's talk about another hack that you should do. If you haven't been to the video hub of Seeking Alpha, you are missing out. Okay? You can watch this leveraging the ProQuant. The ProQuant, I am not using it currently. They have asked me to be an affiliate of it. I have gotten mixed feedback on it from subscribers who have upgraded. It is incredibly expensive, but if you want to see how Steve Kress goes about this, this is a daily trading. It's like AlphaPix, but it's daily. I don't know that I'm necessarily interested in that, and the only thing that I'm an affiliate of are things that I use. You see me use AlphaPix. You see me use Seeking Alpha. But one thing in the video hub that I watched yesterday that was just fantastic, is this. The next generation covered calls. This is SPYI and GPIX. And Jack Bauman, who goes over it, these are 2 income ETFs. And he goes over using the platform exactly what to look at. And Seeking Alpha, it just helps you save time. And it helps you understand things that you may not understand. I don't understand everything in this market. This is a great, investing in airline stocks, Jets ETF, from the CEO of US Global Investor. Again, you want to watch it? Go and watch it. The video hub is a hack. Go and watch it. I'll have this particular video linked in my newsletter. Now, I want to show you exactly. I said Seeking Alpha saves you time. And this is what I want to talk about. You don't get pop-ups. You don't get any ads. Google picked Tennessee as their site for small nuclear modular reactor. Again, it's SMR. If you're into nuclear, SMR is the big thing. Now, I want to show you how Seeking Alpha helped me understand this yesterday. Because I saw this article and I was like, they picked it. Well, who are their partners? You want to find out who are their partners. You may not want to invest in Google, or you have Google already, and it's trading at an incredibly high price. All-time high, close to it, double topping up there around 207, yes. So maybe you don't want Google. Maybe you want something else. Well, who are their partners? The article is linked right here from October. Okay, October. Now, if you had thought OKLO is a good buy in October, because they have Google behind them. Again, they have Google behind them. In less than a year, let's just go back to October. I looked at this one, not OKLO. So I posted this one. I went back and I looked at October. And I said, okay, in October, you had that pop when Google was announced. If you just bought and held it, 503%. Again, if you looked at this, if you just looked at this article, used this article, and then looked at this article back in October, and you had said, well, Google's behind them, might as well, buy into that one. Boom, 500% in less than a year. So again, $1,000 investment, now $5,000. You could have used the 4-hour algorithm to trade in and out of these, because the 4-hour algorithm makes you 590%. In OKLO versus 571%. So again, it's about setting up that strategy. It's about finding the opportunities, but Seeking Alpha, just a well-formatted process and a well-formatted website. And I love it. And again, you can get premium with AlphaPix and save $159. Now let's talk about some of the other things. Now, not so nifty revival stocks, according to Bank of America. I read this. I don't understand exactly what it means, but I'm going to put it into Perplexity. I'm not going to do it for you. If you don't understand what this means, put it into Perplexity. But what I thought was interesting They go over exactly what stocks and what could be a great opportunity. And they list all of these stocks, okay? Forward PE and the beta. The beta, by the way, is the volatility. And they tell you exactly. What I thought was interesting about this one is that Lululemon is in here. And remember last week we talked about Chris Camillo said, hey, Lulu is getting a bunch of press about their no seam in the front. And he said it's a good opportunity. For our algorithm had you in at 192. Well, today you're at 204. That might not seem like a big move, but again, it's probably a pretty good, 7% over just a few days. It's not bad. And you've got a 256 as it was support, probably going to turn into resistance right there. I thought that was interesting. I thought this article outlined it great. I thought this list of stocks, pick your battles. And maybe you want dividends. Okay. Again, Seeking Alpha gives you these 5 dividend stocks that have a yield over 3% and are up over 25% year to date. Anglo Gold Ashanti, AU, it's up 133% year to date. Up 133% year to date. Its yield is 3.24. Still a strong buy in the quant. This one might be a good one. Then I saw this article from Undercover Dozen, and I like it. Again, Ashanti Gold. It's a gold company. I saw this article from Undercover Dozen. Brightscale Capital, Vertex Pharmaceuticals, Adobe, and more. Well, I liked one. BTG, B2Gold. Could be gold's smartest bet in 2020-25. Valuation meets resilience. And BTG, strong buy in the quant. Valuation, perfectly fine. It's a $5 billion market cap, so it's not so small that I can invest in it. It's ranked number 4 out of 47 in gold. So if you'd like to read that article about this one, again, it just provides you opportunities. And here's 6 beaten down stocks for a rally. One of them is Sezzle, which we've gone over before. This is a payment processor. Okay? Quant says it's a strong buy. It's been a top stock. Is this a good one to trade? Well, just so happens that today we have an entry in the 4-hour algorithm, $93. Below the 200-day. Your MACD, super low. It has crashed since earnings. Is this going to fill the gap back up to 130? Maybe. 4-hour algorithm wins 56% of the time, 2,767%. Buy and hold makes you 2,377. Again, a risk-reward setup. Did you buy at $93? It's not doing anything pre-market. But this one is an interesting one. Again, down the rabbit hole of understanding, hey, there's opportunities out there. Let me find them. Let me decide if it's a good fundamental trade. Let me decide if it's a good technical trade. But using those tools together helps. And then, I don't know if this is going to get retail chatter, but this is an interesting one. So let's take it from the beginning. Sphere. Taylor Swift is rumored to be potentially doing a residency at the Sphere. Again, rumors. Is this going to pick up chatter? Well, it was up 5% yesterday. It's a hold from the quant. Valuation extended. Growth, fantastic. Profitability, nothing. Momentum sucks. Revisions, horrible. But are you investing based on this? No. You're investing based on the rumor and based on the pop that potentially Taylor Swift is going to do a residency here. Now, 4-hour algorithm, it's a pretty good bet. You win 38% of the time, so it's not even a 50-50 bet. But you make 78% versus a 2% buy and hold over the last 24 months. Your average win is 19.51. Just got to buy here at 31. You're trading at 41. So it hasn't gone through your average win of 20% yet. But it's a pretty good bet that, boy, this algorithm is good on the news. So while it's going down there, you're really betting on, hey, if I buy this at 32 here, am I going to make some money in the long term? Well, Sphere, it's not a bad business whatsoever. If they get Taylor Swift, you could see this one pop. And again, Chris Camillo got in last week. When did he get in? Last week, the stock was trading. Let's see. Last week, the stock was trading higher. So he's in. Again, risk reward. He's doing it on social arbitrage. Now, another retail one that gets a lot of chatter is Oscar. When do you want to buy Oscar? Well, the VWAP. Go and Google VWAP. Go and ask AI about volume weighted average price. It is a tried and true technical trading strategy to buy near the VWAP. And TrendSpider just did it for you. They VWAP'd it all the way to the IPO. Look at the revenue estimated over the last 20 quarters. It's been right on. And could buying just at the VWAP be a good strategy? Could be. You could try the 4-hour algorithm. Makes you 99% versus 110% buy and hold. Pretty decent. Got you in here at 14.25. Where's the VWAP on this one? 13.70. Boy, look at where I identified $13 right at the support level right there. You're trading at 16.66. That 4-hour buy at the 14.24 or anywhere around that 13 level was fantastic. So again, it's about risk reward. That's what you're doing in this market. And don't expect this market to all of a sudden pop. It won't pop until you hear from Jerome Powell. So the indexes are either buy if you think Powell's going to talk about lowering rates. If you think he's not going to talk about lowering rates and we're going to go back down, don't buy the indexes. And that's what people are doing. They're just waiting. Now, Bill Ackman, in this particular interview, he talks about this. This is a great one. Why he bought Google. It was a 40% down when he bought it. Since it's 130% up. He explains in Google. One of the things that caught my ear when I listened to this, he said when a business becomes a verb, it's a pretty good business. Now, he was talking about the multiple and the PE kind of being down and how Google shouldn't be counted out and how YouTube is a fantastic business, just a fantastic business. Can you think of any stocks that you personally own that are a verb? I'll give you one that I own and one that I brought up last week, buying under 90, was Uber. Uber's a verb. It's one that I own. I think it's a $100 stock. This one is on a trend upward, okay? Is it extended? Absolutely. Absolutely. But when you get down below 90, I think you can buy this one. Now, do you have an opportunity to buy this one under 90? I don't know. Again, this is a verb. Uber somewhere. It's a verb. And it's a strong buy in the quant. Its valuation is extended 25 times forward earnings. But the PEG ratio with their growth, it's 0.98. Their profitability, fantastic. And they are partnering with Waymo. So I don't understand why people write off write off Uber. And by the way, don't forget, YouTube, I wrote this note down. YouTube has 125 million premium subscribers. 125 million. That's a Netflix-sized subscription revenue layered in a $10 billion ad business. So Uber, Google, I think they're both buys. But again, this was a great interview. I thought that was great. Now let's get to earnings. Because yesterday I told you Palo Alto Networks trades up to 200. Now, was I sure of this? No. Am I holding it? Yes. The 171 buy right there was fantastic. You want to know why? It's trading 6% up at 187. Let's see. If you had bought this 4-hour algorithm, and by the way, the gap goes to 192, but 187 and this 188 is going to provide some resistance Old support turns into new resistance. New resistance turns into old support. It's just support resistance. Where did I get that from? Let me just get out of that. You're up at least 10%. But where did I get that particular one from? It was from a previous all-time high where it pulled back. And all I did was draw a line in here and say, okay, there's resistance, there's resistance. It never showed support. There's resistance. Never showed report. There's resistance. It showed support here. Showed support here. We thought we were good. Dip back down. Where are you trading right now? 187, right below that. It probably is close to resistance. But it's a good stock. Again, they topped estimates. They guided higher. And Stephanie Link, who's a big buyer of this one, she has defended this one against CrowdStrike. Yesterday, I told you CrowdStrike was the better buy because it's just been a bigger growth story. This one has traded dead. We can go and look at a weekly chart of this one. It has traded dead since that 188 right there back in February 2024. It has traded dead. Stephanie Link, beat and raise as cybersecurity demand remains strong. EPS up 25%. Product revenue up 19%. Subscription up 15%. Next gen ARR up 32%. Again, it was a great quarter. Do I suggest you buy this one here? Not until we can turn that resistance into support. If this gets up to 200, I will be trading it again. I will be getting rid of it and moving more money towards CrowdStrike, which is the growth. Now, one that reported this morning that I thought was interesting, Home Depot. They said that customers are opting for smaller projects. This is further supporting a September rate cut. People are stretched. Again, I think you need to read the tea leaves. I think Powell is probably going to dig his feet in. He's going to say we're data dependent. But I do think even a quarter point signals to the market that he's willing to actually lower rates. And I think he will do it. I hope he will do it because it's priced into the market. I hope he talks about it in Jackson Hole because it's priced in the market. But Home Depot is up over 400. Let's see how this one trades because right now it's a hold in the quant, and its price target is 424. Do you want to trade something that's only 7% from its upside? I'm not a big fan of Home Depot. I know Home Depot and Lowe's are like some retail folks, and they like trading. It just hasn't worked for me. But the 4-hour algorithm does work, 36% versus 20% buy and hold. But you see that 420, not only is it marijuana, but it is also a resistance level on Home Depot. It's just a thought. Again, all of these are thesis. Everything in the market is a thesis. The market controls everything. So you can come up with your thesis, but nobody knows for sure anything in the market. That's why you need your tools. That's why you need a portfolio that actually beats the S&P 210% versus 70%. During the S&P, 2 data-driven stocks ever on the 1st and the 15th of each month. We just got a new one on the 15th, and boy, it was a nice big move on that one. The one on the 1st is already up like 30, 40%, something like that. Again, this is 210% from July 1st, 2022 to August 14th. And you can save $50 if you use my link tree. It's right there on the 4th link. I do suggest you get premium and you get alpha picks. It just saves you money. And the two tools together work perfectly. If you don't think you want the portfolio and you just want to do your research by yourself, again, Seeking Alpha Premium, you can save $30. The key is you get a free 7-day trial when you do this. And the free 7-day trial, again, you can research, you can import your entire portfolio. You can get all the rating scores on that. You can see what are the top stocks. You can go over here and just go top stocks. Okay, what's the top stock? It's COMM. What's the second top stock? Micron. I've gone over all of those. BTG, B2 Gold, which I just went over. There's a lot of top stocks that you can investigate and you can find out. And if you want them, again, some of the best stocks that I have in my portfolio year to date are the top 2025 stocks, which Steve Kress went over in January, and the top 2025 second half stocks, which he went over in June. They are performing well, and you on your free 7-day trial, you can get those. Now, if you have any questions, hit me up at the newsletter. You can just reply to the email. You can also just chat up here in the right-hand corner under chat. One thing that I do in the newsletter every day is I go over these scans. I scan for entries in the 4-hour algorithm. Now, the mid-cap growth, this one, it almost doubles. Buy and hold. This is Vanguard Mid-Cap Growth, VOT. It wins 67% of the time. Over the last 2 years, you've made 70% versus the actual ETF making you 39.8%. So again, it's nearly double. MACD down on the oscillator, RSI 49, entry at 286. Again, do you want that one? Datadog. This is one, pullback after earnings. Is any reaction an overreaction? MACD below the oscillator, RSI at 41. You want opportunities? Here's some opportunities. SMCI. After earnings, they pulled back big. Is this one finding support at 46? Will it go for a move higher? Does it go back up here to this previous high where it rebounded up to 65? That would be a nice move from 45. So again, technically speaking, all of these entries in the 4-hour algorithm, you can trade them. Over the last 2 years, SMCI makes 92% versus 69%. So it is valuable if you've got your own charting program. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy TrendSpider. TrendSpider is expensive. Again, it's a lift. But at least have a charting program where you go to the newsletter, look at all of the 4-hour entries, and then develop a strategy around that if you don't have the 4-hour algorithm. If you've got something that works for you, go and do it. But for God's sake, just go and make sure you have a plan. Because I heard about this. The pullback in the market, it won't be one thing. It will be several things, and it will be a staircase down. If we just go and look at QQQ, and if you weren't in the market in 2022, then you may not have felt this. But if you look at 2022, where we saw this 7% move in November 2021, everyone was hyped up. And then all of a sudden, you just kept going down. Sure, in March, you had a nice 4% upside. Everybody said, ooh, the pullback is over. No, Fed said we're still going to raise rates. And then in July, you had a 13% upside. That was nothing because in September, you had another 10% down move until you hit the October low. And did you know it was the low? No. So you have to have a plan. You have to know what you're doing. You have to journal your stuff. If you have any questions, hit me up. I am available on the newsletter. You can email me. Everything is at Linktree, even my email address. I'll talk to you tomorrow. See you. Bye.
Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears. Tune in daily, don't miss a single show. Sign up for the newsletter, let us help you grow. Taking risks, making moves, seeking success. Together we'll conquer, no room for any less. Every morning I wake up to the sound of the trading bell. My heart starts to pound. Daily stock pick trading podcast in my ears, guiding me through my hopes and fears.